Yeah, it's my bad, guys. I was videoing in the wrong orientation, so I'm tearing apart the rear end. That's all you need to know. All right, this is gonna be like my longest video, most in-depth video yet. I'm rebuilding the rear end out of the S10. Let's get into it. I've already got it drained, so next I gotta pull the C-clamps. All right, so to get the C-clamps out, first we gotta pull this pin out right here. And to do that, I gotta pull this little bolt out. It's an 8mm. Some people just try to hit the wrench with a hammer. I'm gonna put a pry bar on the yoke, and then that way I can just reef on that little bolt right there and then pull the pin. All right, that pin came right out. So now you push the axle towards the center and there's gonna be a little C-clamp, and I just pull those and then I can pull the axles out. Kind of wild that that's the only thing holding in the axle. But yeah, I just push the axle in, it falls right out. It sits right in that groove right there. And probably don't want to lose these. All right, I got the caps loose. I've marked, I've written down, I've taken pictures of where everything goes. So I know where the caps are supposed to go, which way they're supposed to be oriented. So we're good there. I'm gonna take them and place them on that table over there. And then get this differential popped out. I already got the axles out, by the way. All right, we're back for another day. I'm gonna measure the shims on each side just to make sure I got a caliper. And then I'm probably gonna weld these tubes. I can do 220 now. So yeah, we're gonna weld these tubes. Next, I gotta get this cleaned up here. I get it cleaned up here. I'm not going all the way around. Y'all are smoking crack. I'm gonna have a big old bead right there, big old bead on that side. Same thing over here, same thing over here. But first I gotta clean it up, get that sucker fired up, get that set for basically between almost 1/4 inch thick is what we're gonna be welding. But yeah. All right, I got the races out for the pinion bearing, or the pinion shaft, I should say. I'm gonna clean it out again. I have to clean it a couple more times, but yeah, it's just gonna be like half a dozen times of cleaning that to make sure that it's clean. We got it welded up. I didn't weld the whole way around, but I welded enough where I was like, yeah, that's definitely helping. Okay, we're back. Old stuff right here. I got some bearings that I gotta hone out a little bit so they can fit right over. And then I guess we start doing stuff. Yeah, I thought these were shimmed. They're not. I should have looked at that closer. But anywho's, we're gonna start tearing into this sucker. Okay, first, don't forget, these are left-hand thread. And I was wondering why I couldn't get that one off. Thankfully, that was the junk one. But yeah, so these are left-hand thread. So lefty, tighty, righty, loosey. All right, I've got the ring gear snugged up. I've got to take all these off because I definitely, first of all, thankfully didn't torque them, but definitely forgot Loctite. So we're gonna put some red Loctite on those bolts. And I had to get a vise because I've needed one for a while, and it was Harbor Freight, so obviously it wasn't that expensive. And I'm now just gonna hope that this thing fits in the vise. It should. I'll use this to torque down all these ring gear bolts now. All right, got the differential torqued with red Loctite on all the bolts, so this is ready to go. These are the two, I call them carrier bearings for the differential, I guess the two differential bearings. I'm gonna put these in the oven at 325 for like 35 minutes. This, I think, is ready. I tried to shim it as close as I could to that one. Not even close, it kind of looks like. Looks like one's way higher than the other one. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're going with. And we'll go from there. Oh.
Vicky, what's going on?
Follow me for more baking tips and tricks. All right, we got the bearings installed. They're touching the bottom there, so we're good there. Now we just now we actually install it in the rear end. So yeah, that's a tomorrow problem. I'm not doing that tonight. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. All right, day 2. I've been working for 2 hours on this already, trying to get it. This is the first time that I've got, well, it's like the second time, but this is the first time it's actually ready. I've got the pinion shaft tightened where it's got the right preload on it. I think I've got way too much in it because the back space, I don't think there's enough, she's a little tight. She might be a little too tight, fellas. But if it is, we'll take everything off and do it again. But this is what I'm doing. I can't video this. You would just be watching me go check phone, try to figure it out, watch a YouTube video that I've been watching like 7 times. So I'm just gonna keep walking you guys through like this and give you updates as we go. Well, I got it in for the first time where I could actually check it. Backlash is she's a little too tight, so I need to move it further away from the pinion shaft. So I got to shim this side a little bit more. I haven't checked the pattern yet to determine if I got the pinion shaft shims right. So we're going to do that next. All right, so let's see how bad I've got my pinion shaft shimmed. Not a bad wear pattern. How's this? That's pretty spot on. All right, I've got it set to, that's a lot better. So it's about 7 thousandths backlash, which is perfect. Well, I shouldn't say perfect. It's between 6 and 10 thousandths, which is what Yukon axle tells you it should be for this rear end. So I'm gonna repaint this and check pattern again, and hopefully it's good to go because I really don't want to take this out again. This is what we're at. Just over 7 thousandths. Perfect. That's good. That's in there, so we can pop this off. Put this over here. All right, and I got the pattern coming up right here. Now, that side, pretty good. I believe this is the reverse direction and the pattern's kind of out towards the teeth. So I might have to fix that. Yep, we're gonna take that, folks. It's dialed in. So I'm gonna unbolt these, make sure I keep the shims the right way because I need them the right way. And this certain combination because the backlash is good, everything's good. This is ready to rock. So get everything popped out, take the pinion shaft, put that in the freezer, put the save the bearing, the big bearing that I haven't put on yet, save that for the oven, and then yeah, we'll do that tonight, get that put in. That way the big bearing's on there. We'll save the, and then we just gotta put everything in and then it's done. All right, cool. Okay, don't mind the cat. We're ready for the next bearing install. Got the pinion shaft, it sat in the freezer overnight. I've got the pinion shaft bearing right there. She's been baking for about 18 minutes at 300. We're ready to go. Oh. I think it's on. Yeah, she's on. Cool. All right, back for day 3. Yeah, day 3. I've got bearing on the pinion shaft, shimmed up. It's ready. It's basically factory spec. Kind of From where I read, that was expected. So we're gonna get that into here, and then we are gonna put the, I guess I could put the bearing in the seal in too. Yeah, I gotta do all that. Okay, more stuff to do. All right. That there is a 373 ring and pinion with a Yukon gear and axle posi unit. She's torqued down, got a good pattern on there. She's ready to rock. Now I've just got to order the axles. They're 28 spline now. I upgraded this to the 28 spline axles. And I'm gonna keep the stock cover on it for the break-in, and probably after I get done with the break-in, we'll swap it out to like a pro launch or perfect launch, whatever you call those covers. Something with a little bit more beef to it. But yeah, this is done. This was like one of my most expensive. It's still not done. I'm not really worried about the axles though, because those are just a C-clip, you put it in, then they're done. I'm not touching the brakes. Brakes are good on this thing. The guy had it serviced and took care of it, so I gotta cover it up with some paint, of course. But yeah, this is all this is good, and appreciate you guys watching this. We'll see you next time.